proliferation of this is why we need to have, I mean, I think SE's right. I think everyone seems to agree here that you do want more checks on this, because there was a point in time when you're talking about video surveillance, you're talking about static issues now. You're talking about putting a camera somewhere, or at least having somebody having to operate it. That puts inherent limitations on your ability to surveil. Now, if you can send up some little robot in the sky, which, by the way, is not that expensive anymore, they're getting smaller, and they're getting used by more people, then all of a sudden it becomes really easy to have complete surveillance, 24-hour surveillance. You want these checks in place, and they're not there yet.
And the fundamental difference here is, you know, when police come and search your house, you don't know when a drone is looking at your property. I think that feeling of, I don't know who's watching me, makes this incredibly dangerous. I mean, again, I love the technology, but we do need those.
I guess what I'm trying to clarify is, I don't think that we should be surveilled as a matter of course. Obviously not. However, when authorities do have a warrant to search, what you're saying is, they should need the extra step to get a warrant for a drone, because a drone is all-encompassing.
If you get pulled over, there's a certain latitude the officer has to ask questions concerning your state of intoxication.
If you have a BlackBerry on your car seat,
and that's
they
a problem.
Look at it.
That's a problem. But
plain sight. There are plain sight laws, which is what they use, by the way, for the planes flying over people's properties.
There's a difference between the police officer pulling you over and asking you questions about inebriation, and then the federal government putting cuffs on you and rifling through your house because you were speeding.
But this is a case where they had the warrant to go on the property.
As we go up the food chain.
I think to Amy's point, and I think if I had some of my former law enforcement colleagues here, they would say, look, we got a warrant for the property. Do we have to get a warrant for the dog we bring in to sniff for drugs? Do we have to get a warrant for, fingerprinting? But I think, and this is why I agree with everybody here, that drones are different.
They are not dogs.
They are not dogs. This is a next level, and that's why I was just trying to say I wouldn't blame the law enforcement guys on that day for what they did. I think that given where the state of the law was, they probably acted in good faith. But I agree with this new legislation. You've got to put these checks in place. Look,
but what if the officers have those goggles? They're green and they go through and they can see things and X-ray things. Do you have to have a separate warrant for that kind of technology?
No, this is different.
No, I'm sorry. If it's thermal imaging, if you're going into somebody's house, for example, you can see the heat images in a person's house. Very useful for drug investigations. That needs a specific warrant. That's different than a plane flying over a building and saying, "Look at the roof." Oh, I can see drug planes.
So my question is, if you have a warrant to search someone's home, you do have to get additional warrants to use specific types of technology to search that person's home?
You would have to get a specific warrant to use a thermal imaging device to go inside, because it goes interior. That's the big difference.
But you have a warrant to go through the front door.
Yeah, but think about it. Wait, if you have a warrant to go through the front door?
Okay, that's why I think about the language. You have to detail the things that you're looking for. With thermal imaging, you could say, we're here to find your marijuana grow house, right? But with thermal imaging,
you're going to catch everything.
You're going to see everything that was not mentioned in the warrant.
That's right.
You have a warrant to go through the front door and look.
But warrants aren't just toss the drawers. That's in the movies. In the Fourth Amendment, you have to specifically say why we're going into this person's private property.
A dog, for example, a dog is looking for one thing. A dog will find one thing.
A bomb-sniffing dog.
Drone is going to see everything you have and not discriminate. And just again, you don't know it's there.
There are broader problems here, though, and this is why the legal checks are so important. Right now, already, anything you do in your home, we've talked about this many times, is kept on government servers. They've passed all these laws that no one pays attention to, so that they can retrieve anything you're doing inside your home electronically. That's there for the government to see if they have probable cause. Now you're getting to a point where you could have little things. You could have little things flying all over the sky at all times, 24/7, and they could be taking photos of everything around your home. It's up to us now. I mean, the spirit of the Fourth Amendment, going back all the way before it to English common law, is that your house, your home, your effects should be kept personal. And if we want that, we need to be passing these sorts of laws to get this done, because otherwise we're in total surveillance society, and you might have some privacy in your shower.
But if an officer has a warrant to go through your front door and look around your house,
he has to tell you why he's there, though.
But does he have to get a warrant for specific technology to reflect?
Yes, answer this question.
Yes. You were saying that if he's looking for marijuana, he can do whatever he wants.
But night vision doesn't aid and abet you to see through walls. It just lets you see in the dark. We're talking about technology that would allow you to see thermal imaging of outlines of whatever it is.
Everything you have access. You're giving them access to things that they shouldn't necessarily have access to without limitation. So the idea is we need to put the limitation now, because it's an expanding technology, and if we don't do it now, who knows what they're going to be able to do in 10 years.